And hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ginge and Pedro, the show. Arr. I'm, of course, your host, Captain Red Balls. Alongside me is my first mate, Pedro A. How are you?
I don't think you can match that, man.
Why don't you give her a shot, man?
I don't know, man. I come from Spanish heritage, and we fought the pirates.
Do you guys have a version of? Is there like Spanish stereotype pirates? You know, you got Somalian pirates, right?
The thing is like the whole piracy thing. It's the answer of England before they became an empire fighting the Spanish Empire. So the money was down here. So the British were trying to steal from the Spanish. They weren't colonies. They were virreinatos, would be like viceroy ships. Because you got like New Spain, New Carthage.
The Trade Federation, viceroy.
Yeah, exactly, like a viceroy ship. So you got different viceroys. Like you got New Spain, which was like Mexico all the way down to Costa Rica. From Panama to Peru was New Carthage, and Rio de la Plata would be like Argentina, Paraguay, and Chile, and then Portugal had Brazil. But yeah.
Wonder what happened in New Carthage. Hopefully nothing as terrible as the old one.
Oh, no. With New Carthage, that's the city of Cartagena in Colombia would be like the epicenter of New Carthage. And yeah, the same thing we dealt in coffee.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. We got Ictus in the house. Color extraordinary. What's up, Tony?
The Spanish pirates were actually French. Ictus. Because they were French pirates too, but they were all fighting Spain. Like they were the shit up until like the Battle of Trafalgar, and then like England was on top, and then was like rule Britannia. Britannia ruled the waves. That's after.
All right. Well, we went from something stupid to something informative. So there you go. You got a little bit of everything.
Study.
All right, a little sneak preview here. We got Nick Welch in the chat.
What's up, Nick?
This says, gotcha.
What's up,
Nick? Thanks for coming by, bud. So real quick, buddy, Pops' computer's wigging out. And since he's not here, I'll give us a little shout out to the Kickstarter for the Madness Roku Network.
There you go.
Ginge and Pedro show will be featured over there. And I've got a perk unrelated to Pedro. It does not include his art, just to clear that up. But I've got a perk on that campaign. For a $100, you can get a 10-page script from me. We can do it in any way you want. It's $10 a page, right? I think that's fair. You'll likely squeeze some more out of me. It's all good. But you're getting at least 10 pages.
Nice.
And we can do it however you want, side by side, hand in hand. Give me an idea. Yeah, give me an idea, and I'll bust something out for you. So I'd be honored, and that would really help out the channel. So there's that. And of course, just real quick, we do have something fantastic, something spectacular, something. Give me a word. Give me an adjective, buddy. Give me a Spanish adjective.
Oh no, it's something
tubular,
fantastico,
right?
Something
tubular,
magnifico.
There we go, magnifico.
Yeah, magnifico.
There's more Russian sound. But speaking of, we do have. I'll just share out real quick. And I dropped the link in the chat. We do have waifus and kaijus.
Oh yeah,
on the pre-launch sign up. We are almost halfway to 200 signups. I'm working on lettering right now. Pedro's drawing away.
I'm working on the trailer right now.
Working on the trailer.
Yeah.
I have seen some of those. What do we call them, buddy? Storyboards. I have seen some storyboards. Very exciting stuff.
Oh, dude, I'm recording the song with my brother, and it's like an 80s heavy metal, but with a little bit of Pantera in it. Like, I think you guys are gonna enjoy that composition. No, dude, there's a lot of like. I mean, I'm playing both guitars, but there's a lot of like twin guitar attack, like the way they did it in the '80s. So it's gonna be something like that. For the trailer, it's not gonna have lyrics, but I wanna make an extended version where we can get somebody to sing it, and that's in the plan. Absolutely. But for the trailer, it's gonna be without singing because I want it to be ready. But,
yes, we've always got time to do a larger version. So and I do have somebody in my back pockets. She's got a great voice. Hopefully, she can jive with the tune. Of course, if not, we'll have to find somebody. That can. I also know a guy.
Yeah, the melody can accommodate a lady. Actually, yeah,
she can do rock, and she can sing in Japanese and English.
Yeah, it would be kind of like Nightwish if we put a. Do you know that band, Nightwish?
I don't. I like the name.
It's a band that, that fat chicks love. It's
okay. Hey, come on.
Hey.
Have some cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, enough. We're just
enough of us. Right. This is not about us.
All right, we are. Happy to welcome back to the show two great guys. We had them on for the launch party of the now fully funded, I think in less than 2 weeks, or right at 2 weeks. We're going to find out. He's almost even, he's further than fully funded now. He's fully funded and then some. So very exciting stuff. Let's bring out the team behind SamureX, Nick Welch and Rex Bean. What's up, boys?
Hello.
Man, I'll tell you how flattered I am to be referred as part of the SamureX team, because really it's just Nick, and I'm like,
it's not true. Don't let him lie.
Hanging out, trying to help.
I'm sure he appreciates it. Definitely.
He's my therapist.
Nice.
Once in a while, he's talking me off a ledge.
That's part of the creative process. As I understand it, you need to have those moments where you're like,
put that butter knife down.
Yeah.
There's a way out of this. Yeah, there's a way out of this.
Stop sharpening the butter knife.
Yeah.
Is my audio okay?
We can hear you right.
All right, perfect.
No, your voice is still as sultry as ever.
It's a dulcet tone.
Beautiful.
Smooth as butter, speaking of.
And I'm so excited that the build-up before me coming on here was you guys talking about pirates, but like real piracy. Like I was like I can't even tell you.
Dude, I mean, the country I live in, like we had like a full history of piracy, which is funny. When I watch like Pirates of the Caribbean or like pirate movies, like it really wasn't like that, dude.
No.
It was way better.
Johnny Depp was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, it was way better because those guys like fighting on boats. That was like 20% of what they did. It was mostly raids. They were like Vikings with muskets.
Yeah,
and they did mean ass barbecues. The whole thing, like buccaneer, like that. It's because they use a cooking method called bucan. So there will be an island, and the boats will stop. Like, oh, there's a bucan, and there's a buccaneers, and they were like just basically like roasting pigs and cows and shit. So dude, it's just rich history.
The great grandfathers of barbecue pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love barbecue.
Yeah,
we're thankful for their legacy.
For sure.
Okay, so Nick, how you feeling, man? The book's funded. You kicked ass. You took some names. How you doing?
Good, good. Just I'm trying to reload my guns now, and take some shots at the rest of the campaign. Trying to get ready to start setting up some stretch goals and stuff. Kind of took a breather over the weekend, and now this week has not gone the way I planned. The day job is busy, very busy. So draining me out, but we're gonna start rocking and rolling here pretty quick. Maybe even tonight we'll be putting out.
Yeah, but I wasn't here at the launch of SamureX, so I'm kind of like a neophyte with what the project is. So could you please explain to me what is it? Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Also, these are big words you're throwing around there, neophyte. That was
I
owe you money.
I read from time to time.
We're learning on this show. It's more informative than it is stupid.
But it is stupid. But it is stupid.
In equal amounts.
Yeah.
It should be.
That's right. You need a good ratio.
Hey, here we are. This is SamureX. And SamureX is a cyborg bounty hunter in a far-flung future distant galaxy. And in this book, we obviously meet him for the first time. He is on a mission to hunt down his mentor's killer and bring him to justice. And and so he's wrestling with a lot of stuff. He's kind of been adopted. He was adopted by his mentor into this infamous 1,000-year-old bounty hunting clan, and he's trying to now balance the idea of the code of that clan, which is to be defenders of the weak, to seek justice and be upstanding individuals. He's trying to balance that against the fact that he wants to find this guy and just kill him.
Yeah, vengeance. See.
Yeah.
Dude, I love the fact that he fights with a katana and a kama. So it's like ninja, samurai mix. This universe, is it like a projection of Japan into the future, or is it just the flavor of the clan?
It's a little bit of the flavor of the clan. I mean, I am stealing everyone's cultural heritage and putting it in some alternate futuristic whatever. I just making things
We're all for that in the Ginge and Pedro show. Still away. Culturally appropriate.
So
that's where the great stories come from, man.
I mean, just cool stuff.
Exactly.
I want to steal everyone's cool stuff because I love everyone's cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's appropriation without prejudice.
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
Yeah. What is the best stuff from
equal opportunity appropriation?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So it's got a little bit of a, obviously the name SamureX originally, when the idea came to me, it just samurai, cyborg, robot, bounty hunter. His name is SamureX. It just just came right out of my brain like that. And so I wanted him to have kind of this samurai flair and use a sword because I don't know. I mean, laser gunfights are cool and stuff are cool, but I mean, sword fights are way cooler.
Yeah.
So that just kind of, I don't know. I'm pouring in the things I love into this book, one of which is crazy neon colors, like everybody's in a rave.
Yeah.
I like carrying this color theme through the whole book.
Are you handling the coloring?
So I do the whole thing.
Oh, awesome! Because I'm telling you, these colors are awesome. They're making me want to take off my shirt.
Sweet.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's
to the party boat. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
So I didn't explicitly write that on the campaign page, but that was an alternate desire of the coloring, is to make you want to take your shirt off.
Yeah.
It's a stretch goal. Stretch goal.
Yeah, dude. It's awesome, dude.
Pedro takes his shirt off.
The stretch goal is going to be, if we reach a certain number of backers, I won't take my shirt off in live treatment. I think it's the plan.
Yeah, that can get you places.
Yeah.
But the thing that on the coloring, and I don't know, I don't want you to take it as an insult or whatever. It's just I get echoes of stuff when I see them. Mm-hmm. This is reminding me a lot of that movie Johnny Mnemonic. Remember that movie?
I do. I haven't seen it forever, but now I want to watch it.
Yeah, because the things like the whole technology and how it's portrayed, it's giving me the screens and whatnot at the angles. It's reminding me of that. So it's very, very cool, man.
Go ahead, Rex.
I was going to say, when we were talking last time, we were talking about how there's a was it? Man, what movie was it that we were talking about?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Thank you. Yep. A lot of Blade Runner-esque feel to it too.
Yeah, and so I mean, really, it's super intentional too. That like all the technology I'm drawing and creating to look like it was for a science fiction movie from the late 70s or early 80s. Everything has a real analog look to it, just because I I think buttons and switches and stuff are cool.
Yeah.
And so like I'm going all in on that kind of aesthetic. And everything's, I love grunge and textures, and this is just artistically, it's me on a page. Like, this is just all the stuff I love to draw. But it's also a really fun story too, where And
it looks like, for example, in that panel on the second page, like you're defining the shape of the room with the glow of the screens. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a shortcut, but it has depth, dude. Really well done, man. Congrats.
No, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I'm not putting myself any kind of artistic pedestal. It's been a challenge to get myself to where I want to be. I got a long way to go, but I'm excited about how it looks and in everything. I'm working on letters now.
Oh, awesome!
It's like so I mean, we're like 95% done. I still have a few pages, and I'm finishing. And then I'm lettering the whole thing still.
Oh, cool.
But hopefully, we should be. The plan is to be done with it. I mean, by the time the campaign closes, but also, there's kind of a layover there between when the money comes in from Indiegogo. So by the time the money is in our pockets, the plan is for it to be ready to go to print.
Normally it takes like 7 days to 2 weeks, like 10 days maybe.
Okay.
I think that was my experience with Indiegogo, but
okay, good to know. Yeah, because I saw that it's like, I think when I looked it up on Indiegogo's site, they say like 2 weeks, like whatever, 10 business days or something.
Yeah, it's within that range. So yeah, for 2 weeks.
They'll get to it when they feel like it.
Yeah.
So kind of, we're kind of alluding to what's happened to this point throughout the book. On that first set of pages where the key is and stuff is Dax Corvus, SamureX's mentor, is kind of talking over events that are happening that still remain pretty mysterious as we open the book, but talking about he's found SamureX in a kind of a stasis device, and brings him out of it, and SamureX doesn't know who he is or where he came from, how he came to be, but Dax Corvus can see that his purpose was to be a warrior, and so kind of takes him on, trains him to be a bounty hunter, and then obviously we jump to present moment where here he is, he's a bounty hunter now, but now he's avenging Dax's death, and discovering that there's a lot more nuance to the whole scene than he realizes. He catches up to this guy who's responsible for Dax's death, but there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. There's more enemies hiding in the shadows, and he is taking on 1,000 years worth of clan enemies.
Nice.
Without really having enough time to figure out who and what they are. So,
yeah. What's the page count on the book?
36, and then like the whole book as a whole will be like 48.
Okay.
There's gonna be some extra stuff in there. It is a magazine-sized book, like heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it very much like an anthology book, although everything is like by me, but like it'll have like fake advertisements that will be like in universe, in the SamureX universe, and give you glimpses into stuff like that. There's also a written traditional like prose story that I wrote that will be a backup with a couple of illustrations. I've got like a puzzle that I'm putting in it, so I want to kind of give that that feeling like reading an old like late 70s heavy metal kind of book style. So
well, you'll puzzle me this, Nick, if I may, sir.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I couldn't skip past that. You said puzzles, but no. I'm curious, man. Could you tell me a little bit about because we talked about it somewhat on the launch, but I'm really digging your watercolory stylization. Could you talk about how you painted this corner right here? Do you do it layer by layer, or is this like a gradient and you just played with the color spacing? How do you get that softness on that?
That's a good question. You're asking very good technical questions, and but I'm a little more loosey. Throw some stuff at the digital screen to see what sticks. But so I mean, I guess jumping on point is, I mentioned I love textures and grunge and all that stuff. I have a whole file folder full of textures and stuff that I've collected over the years. That some of them I've made them by hand. I've made them digitally. I've taken photos of grungy industrial walls and like painted over it. And so I have all these textures initially, and then I have a bunch of brushes that I really, really like. So I just doodle this stuff until it feels right. And then lots of times too, I use some effect layers to kind of just get the visual, the color flavors that I want. I don't know. Does that even remotely answer the question you just asked me?
I'm not sure, to be honest, but I'm so like mesmerized at what I'm looking at that I don't know that it really can be explained necessarily.
I like the term.
I'm not super technical.
I like the term color flavors because it makes me think this comic is like sherbet.
Yeah. I don't know, like
this flavor.
Sherbet with rum in it.
Yeah.
Color
flavor and like like an ice cream truck. But yeah, I get you with the textures
full of
and
depth.
The grunge. Yeah, full of depth. The grunge and having like 1,000 brushes to achieve that. And then like, do you apply any blending modes to it at all, or you just do effects to the layers?
Yeah. Yep. So I'm using Clip Studio.
Okay. Cool.
So I use different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Depending. Lots of times I just play with it until it looks how I want it to look, though. So I wish there was a more defined process than that.
The thing is, I kind of get your process. It's just like experimenting, kind of like cooking without a recipe.
Yeah.
And
I would really love to have a recipe because I feel like it would expedite the process.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm also not so foolish as to realize, to know that I this is how I do it. Like I'm just I just doodle until it's right.
Mm-hmm. It's a feeling.
Oh, very nice, bro. This thing literally is dripping with atmosphere. I'm almost worried it's going to arrive at my door slightly moist.
That's
well,
I mean, that's part of the stretch goals.
Yours specifically will, but we'll talk about that off camera.
Okay.
Stretch goals.
Mm.
If you scroll back up to on the like where the video should be, you can flip through those images as well if you wanted. Yeah.
Oh, look at that, dude.
So that's kind of my piece de la resistance. I can't say it right, but that's my like tribute to Kirby double page spread.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
This fighting like techno Viking skeletons. Like, dude, this is awesome.
Yep. So they're just want to draw fun stuff, and they're going to be really cool characters as well. Just a lot of just attitude and these self-modifying robots that work as like they work for this bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But
is that guy in a robe, or is that like a?
He's totally in a robe. He's totally like hooked up to a machine and dying and smoking a cigarette.
Wow.
what I was saying. And like that is Nick drew that character based on me. That is actually how I look right now.
Oh, all right.
That's why I keep the camera off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Robes are comfortable though. I'd spend my whole life in a robe. So let me ask you this: are these actual? Because this almost has like really horrific implications. Are these skeletons human skeletons that have sort of been reanimated through technology, or could you tell us a little bit about that? Or that's almost a terrifying fate.
No,
really.
they were just more intended to be, entirely robotic, but they look like human skeletons because, and I can even bring up some stuff and share some stuff. So this bad guy, we're seeing him at his lowest. He's dying of a disease largely because he's, he was and is a famous bounty hunter in his own right, and he's essentially jacked himself up on all the best steroid futuristic whatevers to make himself strong and fast and whatever. And so after all of these years, he's dying because of it. But so that as he started to see the writing on the wall, he created this. Essentially, it's a race of these skeleton robots that do the bounty hunting for him, but also work as his bodyguards. But they're also like they're loyal to him and they're loyal to one another. But they're also like self-modifying, and they'll just modify themselves and put horns on their heads and
all right,
whatever cool stuff.
Very nice. I dig it, bro. I mean, certainly horrifying either way. Or basically, like skeletons coming to kill you, but these are not just regular skeletons.
Yeah. So, and that's really, and that was the goal of their creation by this bad guy too. That he wanted to create something that was intimidating.
What's up, Dojo? It says, "Hail, Ginge Gingerton and the famous Pedro Ang."
Oh no!
Also,
stop with that.
Welch.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm not famous, Dojo. Stop it.
Infamous.
We got Neo Star in the house.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
I'm infamous. That means more than famous.
Yeah, you got to do something extra, really, to become infamous. There's
dude,
lines that get blurred.
Haven't you seen the Three Amigos? Like the infamous award, but that means he's infamous. That's more than famous. He's infamous. So yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
Dude, you gotta see.
I know I'm slipping on my
You haven't seen Three Amigos?
Yeah,
put on your list.
Yeah, put it on your list, man. Lucky Day.
Isn't it kind of
Gene
Wilder?
No, it's not Gene Wilder.
Chevy Chase, Steve Martin Short.
Martin Short. No.
Right.
So this here is
dude, look at this.
Is the bad guy in his former glory as a bounty hunter.
Okay.
So this is him when he, space roided up and hunting down bounties and killing bounties when he didn't need to because he's not a good guy. But
that's not good.
He's a bounty hunter, so he's sort of a good guy, but he wasn't really ever a good guy.
Yeah.
And so now at this point in the story, obviously he's just all jacked up and dying. But yeah, so this is another 2-page spread of just,
I don't even need to say it, but I think the spot I'm looking at on the screen here. It's just so wonderfully delicate. This little, I don't know what you'd call it, that little, I can't really point with it on my mouse, but the far right of the page over here, that little middle spot with the cut. Yeah, that's the spot right there, buddy. Really nice.
Yeah, that depth in the back.
It's
very painterly. Like you're defining the city with shapes. And you can tell it's like a Boston city with little spots of ink. So really, really good, man.
I really dig watercolor. Just outside of this, I've been painting for a while.
I have another question.
Okay.
Those elements of static you're putting in the pages, can you go a little bit to the left, Ginge?
This way? This?
Yeah, those elements of static. Is that on purpose? Like we're watching a TV, like a feed that's getting like static within it, or
I mean, a little bit. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like I was messing around with it, and I started adding it more, and like I just like it as a design element.
Yeah,
and I'm even using. I mean, it's really compositionally. It works as an element too. Like obviously, it's bringing your eye this direction.
Yeah. But it is as a storytelling element. I'm telling you, like this is telling me, like, dude, I'm watching a feed, and the feed is not all there. So what's happening? Like it's a little bit of mystique and intrigue to it. So
yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear you say
We
that.
have a question.
We have a
Go ahead,
question.
Rex. See you. Yeah.
No, go ahead with the question, Ginge.
Yeah. So Jojo asks, he's like, is he dying? Is this a redemption arc storyline? I believe he means the bounty hunter.
So so this guy, the bounty hunter, so he is, I mean, he's the primary bad guy of this story. It's not really a redemption story. I don't want to give too much away, but it could be a redemption story. But as it turns out, he's just a jackwagon. So yeah. I mean, in that really intertwines with what SamureX is dealing with in this scene, where like I say, he comes in ready to chop the guy up, but realizes like he's just a sad old wrecked man, and then realizes that there's no success in just killing this guy out of revenge.
Is he carrying his own feces bag?
What's that?
Is he carrying his own feces bag? Like, I don't know. How do you call that?
It's just...
sorry.
Yeah,
I know him in Spanish. The shit bag. Yeah.
It's just a device that he has hooked to him. Just supposed to be like a medical device that's...
Okay. Yeah. No, it's not a colostomy bag. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're called, the colostomy.
I mean, it could be I bet if you put enough money in support of the Indiegogo campaign, Nick would make it a colostomy bag.
A colostomy bag. Yeah, that would be a stretch goal. Like chemical warfare.
Another stretch goal.
Chemical warfare stretch goal. Like, make it
I might start wearing colostomy bags just to see how they play more fashionably. Anyway, all right. Well, this test sample here doesn't seem to be digging it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but there's almost like a bit of a graffiti element too with some of this texturing that you've done. I watch he's not really a traditional graffiti artist on YouTube, but he's a guy that does like a lot of different paint styles. It's maybe more like a modern art where you're literally just throwing shit at the wall, but you're doing it over like different items and textures, and it creates all different kinds of looks and things. It's like, it's really ends up.
Stop talking about shit, man.
Well, I don't mean actual shit, but
yeah.
This is a filthy show. Sorry, guys.
So to me,
red balls.
To me, what goes through my mind whenever I look at it is just pixelation, and so Nick talks a lot about the decay of the world in which SamureX resides, or the universe in which he resides. And to me, it's an element of that decay, like, super futuristic and modern, to where they would have things like really advanced screens, but decayed enough to where all the pixels don't work anymore. That's what always goes through my mind as I look at those pixelated images.
Like the TVs are all basically just sort of what starts to happen. Technology just
there was a time when they were perfect, but now not so much.
I like it. Yeah, no,
I like
it's definitely
the skull with horns, man.
Yeah, Iron Maiden.
That's my jam right there.
Where is this?
Yeah.
So yeah, this kind of calls out to what Rex was just talking about, where I mean, so super futuristic, but at the same time, just like, you know, some broken old fence.
Yeah.
That nobody's fixing. Like, this isn't a Star Trek universe. This is a very lived in, whatever, you know, just gigantic mushrooms growing out of buildings.
Oh, that's fungi. Okay.
Again, like it's that Blade Runner feel where like it's futuristic, but it's not sterile.
Yeah, it's futuristic, but it's not utopic.
Yeah, it's more dystopian than utopian.
Yeah. Cool.
Here we go. Boys, we got Dojo popping in here real quick. He says, following Rex on X, follow back for an invite to my show.
Absolutely. Happy to do that.
Dojo, people.
Back, y'all.
It's been a good show.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, no, there's one thing you mentioned real quick. It's like you make a great point with all this, though. It's like our town got hit by a hurricane in 2018, and a lot of it took a pretty good beating. And some of it's been fixed, but I will just ride around a lot and like look at like, and you know, whatever. It's just grass. There's like grass growing all over the place, and that's fine and dandy. But it's like, I'm just wondering. I wonder all the time. I'm like, who's gonna do anything about this? Like nobody's gonna do anything about it unless somebody does something about it. And I know it's, you know, like obvious to say, but it's like I think that kind of applies a little bit with the story you're telling here. It's like somebody has to do it, otherwise, you know, it's just going to deteriorate.
You're fighting entropy, you know, and in societies like that, fighting entropy gets more and more difficult and expensive, and eventually the planet just starts to reclaim itself.
Yeah.
Very metal.
Yeah, and this, you know, this calls out too to what you're seeing happening, you know, behind the scenes politically in this universe, where like, you know, they just, you know, they don't care, you know. So then everything is, you know, sad.
Could you expand a little bit on that? Like, what's is like is there a ruler of the world here, or is there something like that?
Sure. So I mean, some of it's still, you know, coming into existence, but the general idea is that there was actually 12 core systems, and those systems all kind of reached spacefaring evolution in society at about the same time, and so they ended up coming together into one political, you know, system, so to speak. And then from there, all of this, the rest of the galaxy has just been populated and come along with it. But this whole thing with the bounty hunters, initially when those 12 systems first came together, there was like this whole that's kind of when the bounty hunters began. Every system had like essentially a clan of bounty hunters, and they worked as, you know, peacekeepers. They worked to cross barriers and hunt down bad guys, you know, across systems. You know, they fight monsters, but that was like, you know, 1,000 years ago. And so since then, things have kind of deteriorated, and the systems that were in place at that time have deteriorated. It's gone bad. And so the traditional, those original clans have broken up and fought and whatever. So now you've had this rise of less, you know, over time, this rise of less honorable intentions kind of take over across the worlds. But I mean, in this specific world, it's just very like, you know, it's the classic, again, calling out, you know, late 1970s, early 1980s. I mean, any sci-fi films where, you know, the evil corporation that controls everything. This particular world he's on is like the epitome of that. And the system he's in is like the center of business for like the entire galaxy kind of thing.
All right. Very nice. So Dojo hops in here real quick. Says, "Congrats on getting funded." Hooray.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, you guys zipped right over to being funded. I'm going to pull the campaign back up so we can go over that. So how many days into the campaign were you guys funded? Was it under 2 weeks? I mean, it must have been right about it, right?
Yeah, it was right about a week, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Give me a sec. I can actually look that up. Hold that thought.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so we've had
the data.
That's right.
So we had a mix of folks coming in and back in, and I've had a lot of like family and friends come in and back the campaign and stuff because they know that I've wanted to make comic books since I was like 3.
Oh, cool.
So so we're doing pretty good. And sorry, go ahead.
Does your family see your art a lot? Are they going to sort of be getting their eyes on your work for the first time in a while? Or I mean, you're going to be having multiple people shit their pants, I'm sure. Send a pair of extra trousers.
So that's a good question. I mean, they're very aware that I'm an artist, obviously. Yeah, how much they see my work, I guess, isn't a ton. I mean, just whenever I post stuff to Facebook, but I've been doing that more and more lately. So, so that's where they've been seeing it. But yeah, it would very much would probably be. I mean, a couple of them, like my cousin bought. So, like, I color red koi from Alterna. Like, I have a cousin that bought some of those issues and bought the first one and had me sign it and stuff. So I've seen some of my work, obviously, to draw that. But
I need to have you sign my red kois. I never thought of that. Put that on the list of to-dos.
Okay.
Next time I red kois.
Let me put that on the list.
Put that on the list somewhere. Oh, and to
on your forehead.
To follow up, funded in 6 days.
All right.
6 days. So
very nice. Congrats.
Yeah. So right now we're just I'm trying to gear up for this second phase, and I think all of our stretch goals are going to be backer number focused more so than monetary. So we raised the funds that we need to kind of produce everything on the campaign. But yeah, I just want to get more folks in to just buy the book and read it when it comes out and consume it,
Absolutely. Dojo says, Alterna rocks. That's good. They do. It's the man. Yep. Very nice. Okay, so speaking of sort of the more technical aspects of the campaign here, we've mentioned stretch goals a few times. So let's start at the top here. We'll start at the rewards. And if you want to just run through it with us, buddy.
Sure.
Then we can hit stretch goals and all that stuff too as we go.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, at the top you've got the book. Comes with a sticker and a trading card. Book's going to be at least 48 pages, jam full of all kinds of exciting content and stuff. And then if you jump right up to the next tier, you get a trading card pack. We're going to do a packs of trading cards, and I have the benefit of, through my day job, I can get a lot of this stuff, specifically the trading cards and stuff, like really pretty economically price wise. So that's why I wanted to do that. And but we're not. I mean, it won't be a foil pack. That was a little more pricey to try and do that. But we're gonna make these packs. We're gonna hand wrap them, put a sticker on the back, just packed with love kind of thing. You'll have 4 trading cards and 2 stickers in each pack. So yeah, that second tier, you'll get the book, you'll get the trading card pack, and you get one of the prints of your choice. The one you see there is one of the Skelter heads. Those are the skeleton warriors. But then there's
Skelter heads. Nice name.
Dude, that is so nasty, bro. God, that is incredible.
Yeah, so that card that's just killer. That's by Frankie Washington.
Nice.
I was like, hey, I was like, just draw me some rock and roll skeleton robot guys. And he went all in on rock and roll. Like they got like the Kiss boots and everything. Like he took it literally. And I'm so excited about it. I can't even.
Yeah.
So
that looks like super. Like Frankie drew this patch for me, but I wouldn't have necessarily guessed that was his work because it looks like specifically more metal. Like definitely.
I mean, the thing is that Frankie B is very versatile. So
very much, yeah.
I had no idea. To be honest,
dude, that guy's a beast. He's been at this for a while.
So yeah, the trading cards there. That primary one was drawn by Tyler Wentland, the creator artist for Red Koi. My brother from another mother. And then that second one was done by Ben Soto, if you're familiar with him.
Oh yes,
Benjamin.
Shout out.
Yeah, he did an amazing job on that piece. So we're slowly rolling out these trading cards.
Trading cards.
I've got Jeff Elkins working on one right now.
Nice.
And then I'm working on some, but right now I need to finish up the second print option. So there's the Skelterheads like punk rock arcade print, but then there's a mysterious SamureX print that I haven't unveiled artwork for. So that's one of the options you get when you get it to a print level. And then you can if you scroll down there, I'm also doing these metal trading cards. So they're it's a metal. I have one here somewhere. It's like a metal.
I heard the clink.
Business card. And I'm gonna have 10 of these. They're gonna be lasered on one side with SamureX and like the logo, and then on the other side we're gonna have each one's gonna have a different printed graphic illustration. And I'm going to sign and number them 1 through 10, but then the laminate is going to go on over top of the signature.
Right.
So because we're going to do that, my buddy has a sign shop, so he'll print those out, and I'll go down there and I'll sign and number them, and then we'll laminate them, and he'll put them on for me. So we'll have 10 of those. If you go to the tier that those are available, there was 7. I don't know how many are available now, but the Fanatic level, I think.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is. Trading card.
So yeah, the Fanatic level, you can get one of these. There's only 7 there, even though I'm making 10, because 3 are going to go in random trading card packs. So if you get that base, get that base tier where you get a trading card pack, you might end up with one of these. And then we're gonna have some other bonuses too. I'm planning on doing a couple of like sketch cards, mixing those into the trading card packs. Surprises in those babies. So I'm excited to put those together.
Yeah, sketch cards are exciting. That was one thing I was going to suggest. Was maybe inside some of the packs or something, but you're already far ahead. So awesome.
Yeah, but if you have any other suggestions for cool, Easter egg goodies mixed in, that's the fun thing. A fun thing about trading card packs, anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you get a trading card pack. What are you going to get? Are you going to get the rare one? Are you going to get the whatever? So I want to add that as much as possible into the.
I'm noticing this is SamureX 1. So is this a finite story? Like how many? Or do you want to make it ongoing? What's the plan here?
Right now, I just plan to keep making them. This story is self-contained. It's not a cliffhanger.
Okay.
So if I get hit by a bus, anybody that gets the book gets a whole book, and they're not really left hanging so much.
Yeah.
But I don't have a specific number of issues or stories. I have a lot of really fun ideas rolling around in my head. So
so for safety's sake, just stay away from roads. No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah,
here.
For what it's worth, I would appreciate that too. That'd be great.
Yeah.
You could not die.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
this looks awesome, man. I want to see more of this.
And that brings to mind, actually, because we're coming up on Halloween. Last year at Halloween, we went out trick-or-treating here in my little, you know, town in northeastern Pennsylvania, and the sidewalks, a lot of the backstreet sidewalks are all like, you know, like Pennsylvania bluestone, and like they've sunk into the ground, and like they're at all kinds of crazy angles. And we walked all these back streets, and I was fine. And then we got to the center of town where we had like brand new concrete curbs, and I like fell off the curb and like sprained my arm. That was last Halloween. Like, so I didn't get hit by a bus, but you know, I'm gonna stay away from curbs this year. So
yeah, stay away from curbs and roads, and
yeah,
stay indoors.
So yeah, got a comment here. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just gonna say, so yeah, this is the Skelterheads print. And then that other mysterious one above it is gonna be the SamureX one that I'm almost done with. So as soon as that's done, we're gonna reveal that. So you get your choice.
Yeah.
If you're on a tier where you get a print, you get to choose between those two prints. Yeah, and then I've never launched the original art tiers. I only have a couple of original art pieces. I've got Tyler's and I've got Ben's, and I haven't ever launched those tiers. I've also got the original art from the Skelterheads print as well. I did that traditionally, which I don't do a lot of traditional work. So I really should.
Very nice.
Now that we're funded, I think I should probably launch those tiers.
Wow.
So I didn't have all of the art in my grubby little hands when I launched the campaign, but I do have it all now. So, although part of me is like just doesn't want to sell it or give it away.
Oh yeah, I
just want to keep it forever. But it'll be all right.
So, Nick, do you want me to talk for a minute about the token and the warranty copy?
Sure.
So,
we're doing some weirdo stuff, and I know a lot of the indie comics are like, oh, NFT, dirty word. But I'm gonna let Rex talk about something we're doing that's already included in all of this. So go for it, Rex.
So one of the things that we've been talking about and wanted to kind of achieve with this project is think about how we can link SamureX to like broader experiences. You know, like you can buy a comic and you can have that and you can enjoy it. But like, is there a way to make a better experience for people, you know, to help them dive further into a universe? And so there are a few different ways you can approach that. And where I kind of fit into this is on that token side. And so there's a couple pieces here. So Nick mentioned that when you buy into any of the tiers, not only do you get a physical copy, but you'll get a token that will represent your right to a warranty copy. So, you know, let's say that you're an avid collector, but someone that wants to enjoy the copy as well. And like, you want to have a copy that you can touch and you can, you know, manhandle, or you can have at your house or whatever. But you want the ability, in case that gets lost or smudged or wrecked or ruined, you want to be able to say, hey, I bought into the campaign and I can prove it. And I want a backup copy later on. So we decided to create this possibility of having a token to go along with it. And so in the short term, that's what that token does. So this would be so Nick used the term NFT. It's certainly an appropriate term. This will be what they call an ERC 1155 token that represents not only a digital copy of the book, but it represents your right to claim an additional physical copy later on.
Oh,
and
dude,
then
that's not an NFT, dude. That's
it actually, yeah, it is. It's so an ERC 1155 is a specific token type.
Okay, gotcha.
And this is why this is such an interesting thing to do, because so if you look at My Little Bean, so my Little Bean is an NFT, and I think that's what people think of right now, especially in the art and comic world. When they hear NFT, they think of, profile pictures and things like that.
Yeah.
Really think of an NFT as a platform or a tool. And basically it's a way to show definitively that you own a thing. And that could be anything from a picture like me to a comic book to someday it'll be concert tickets, it'll be movies and books. They'll all be tied to these tokens because you can trade and sell and buy these tokens without having to go through Amazon, without having to go through, Ticketmaster or whatever. And so we wanted to kind of get out in front of this technology a little bit. And so not only does, you get that token when you buy in, and it gives you that right to that backup copy. But later on, as we continue to evolve this project, we want that token to be able to give you access to other cool things. And the beauty is that it's not like a receipt. Like if you were to buy a comic book in a store, you get a receipt that says, hey, I bought this comic book. Like that could get lost. It could get, it could be ruined, or actually it could be forged. A token.
My dog could eat it. My dog does that. That with a lot of my books. I've lost too many.
That's exactly right. And so let's say, and what I was talking about with Nick the other night was let's say that you bought Action Comics #1, the initial Superman comic book, and having that comic book gave you the ability to go to a special meetup or, attend an event or get a cool bonus thing. It's hard to prove that that is yours and that it's real, but using things like tokens, you can do that. And so later on, when Nick and I say, okay, we're ready for the next step in this project's life, we can go back to those folks that have those tokens and say, hey, because you have this token, you're on a short wait list for this bonus cool thing. And you could buy or sell that token later on. So Ginge, let's say that you buy, 5 copies of SamureX each that have their own token along with them. And later on you say, well, I want to sell 2 or 3 of these. You could do that. And whoever buys that token would have the right to whatever cool thing is that is down the road. And that stays with that token forever.
Oh,
there's some really cool
real estate. Okay.
Yeah. The idea is the definitive way to prove, hey, this person owns this thing. It's not just a receipt. It's not just a piece of paper. It's not just hey, believe me that I bought this and I didn't steal it or I didn't make it up or whatever. Yeah. And you can link all these cool experiences and additional items and bonuses to it.
Okay. It's almost having a membership without a monthly fee in some ways.
Great. That's a great analogy.
Purchasing.
That's a great analogy. Okay.
Yeah, this show is stupid and informative in equal ways.
Yeah.
I love it.
We have a question. I'm not sure. So, Two Scoops also is icon, sort of looks like a dick and balls, but the physical copy of a comic would be a quote unquote gold standard. You have a digital quote unquote banknote for.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good. I think that's a pretty decent analogy. So theoretically, the warranty copy is the same thing as the original. It would be numbered the same. It would be, for all intents and purposes, the exact same thing. And then both the first copy, first physical copy, and the backup copy would be linked to that token. And so they're all numbered correctly so that they all match. And the nice thing is you don't have to necessarily get both physical copies at the same time. You can wait and get that second one later after your dog eats the first one, or you move 3 times and it gets lost in a storage facility or whatever.
And something I think Rex glossed over too is that part of that token is a digital copy as well. So instead of me just dropping PDFs out the wazoo via email to people, you'll have a certified, registered digital copy that if you're on vacation and suddenly you decide that you want to see the delicious magenta tones of SamureX again, you can just pull your phone out and dial up your digital copy And check that out. And that, again, that stuff's all included with all of these physical books on every tier. So we're basically giving away this thing for free. All of these kind of extra perks that I'm still wrapping my head around, but I'm excited about. So,
all right. Well, I like it. If I understand it, and Rex complimented my analogy, so I'm not the one to shy away from a compliment.
You got it. And we like the goal here is we want to.
You don't know what you've done, Rex. Ginger's going to be insufferable for like 6 weeks.
Let me tell you,
I'm
already insufferable.
Yeah, it's going to be like red. He's got red analogy now. Look at me. Woo.
Nick. Well, and Nick will tell you if there's somebody that loves to talk about this stuff, it's me.
Okay.
And so I will go round for round about the most boring aspects of how some of this stuff works, because to me it is like I see this as the next evolution of how we do media. You know, this is bigger than comic books. It has a lot to do with how artists will own their own intellectual property in the future. And like the abilities that you will have as people that create things to manage your own work. Like that's what I see out on the horizon. And what's cool is we get to have these conversations and say, hey, you know, NFTs, a non-fungible token, it's a token, and it's not just a profile picture. It's not just a Bored Ape. Yeah, it's something much bigger than that. And it will be in the future. So like that's, to me, that's what gets me really, really jazzed up about this project.
Yeah. Well, you've made it exciting.
Sure. I sure hope they do, because I have Madness NFTs from 2 years ago that ain't worth shit.
Well, and that, you know, that like that's the difference is that, you know, so people were making money on profile picture NFTs for a couple of years. And some of the really smart projects have done a good job turning those into new experiences. Like there's an NFT project that owns a basketball team, and like that's like part of what they did.
My issue wasn't they were nice. They were, I mean, actual artists' art. They weren't some crap. They were really nice. The problem is I had no idea where to go market them, so they just said.
Yeah. And that's, I think that's part of it. Part of it too is we're going to learn more and more about how the ecosystem works. So, you know, right when this project when SamureX is out in the wild, that ERC 1155, you'll be able to take that to a place like OpenSea. And let's say you had a copy, or let's say you had a token that didn't have its warranty copy redeemed. It still had a warranty copy waiting. You could sell that token on OpenSea with its warranty copy still attached and say, hey, this is worth more because you can get a physical copy of this comic along with it. And you'd have rights to whatever happens down the road. It's like, that's what makes it really, really cool, is that all the cool things follow the token.
I can dig it. I'll give it a try. I already backed the book, so would that come with the so we'll check it out.
I love the fact that Rex stuck on all future and he go like full 7. It's like, I can dig it. Yeah, groovy.
Right, baby.
Yeah,
groovy.
You gotta speak a language I can understand and like these stereotypes up there.
Just win like straight games round. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So we are at an hour here.
Yeah.
And, that's about when we wrap her up, typically. Yeah. So we do have a couple of quick notes. 2 scoops here and a couple of the thoughts. I just want to toss in here. Big data mass surveillance crunched all the dirty laundry from the res and exactly what skinwalking is. Tons of dirt on Disney with piles of money wrapped up in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Digital paparazzi here using big data for Disney scoops. What are we thinking here, boys? What are we talking about? I'm not sure. I'm not up on this.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I don't know what res is. I know what skinwalking is, but that's like cryptids and stuff.
Might as well be
As a
walking
person
on the
that walks
skin.
in skin, I am really all for keeping my skin on whenever I walk.
Yeah. No, but Skinwalker,
You make a good
I mean,
point.
look on the Skinwalker Ranch videos on YouTube. You're going to have fun.
Yeah.
And speaking of walking around in your skin, I just want to circle this all the way back to the fact that Ginge will not be wearing pants at the fair anymore because he puked on a kid.
Yeah, he's Captain Red Balls.
Well, that was actually. Hang on now. I'm glad you brought this here because we can actually end this. And Pops, I'm glad you're here too because he stopped me earlier. So that was 2 times ago. Actually, I threw up on that kid.
There you go. Okay,
we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that.
Yeah, he got
No, but here's the thing. So the fair rolled into town last week, and my girlfriend, of course, you got to take your boo to the fair, right? And yes, the last time that I went, I did throw up on this poor kid, and it had been a few times. I've been to Universal Studios twice since then, right? No issues. So I figured, whatever. Maybe I'd known I needed to get off that last time, but I chose not to, so it was my fault.
Yeah.
So the first ride to get it, I did sort of on myself. But no, we get in the fair, we do a little walk around, right? The first ride that we see is this Ferris wheel type thing, but it's you've got these individual carts, and it fits 2 people at a time, and it's basically a tiny cage where you're sitting like this, holding a bar, right? And they close this cage door on you, and you're just squished. And it spins like a Ferris wheel, but it spins very quickly. And your seats are on their own little spinning bar that spins with the momentum. So as they crank the speed up on that Ferris wheel thing, they'll stop it and start it. And you just start spinning. And, you can go up, back. So I get on, and I'm feeling pretty confident, I guess, whatever. But dude, it's like, by the 3rd spin, we get going. By the 3rd spin, I'm starting to feel nauseous, and also I'm trying my best not to shit on myself because we just had Subway. So it's like that thing starts spinning, dude, and it just sends my stomach into upside down reeling where I'm seriously I'm stuck with my girlfriend in a tiny cage. I got tight pants on, and I'm trying not to shit my pants and throw up all over the place. And my girlfriend was trying to get them to stop, but they were Mexican, so whether they spoke English or not, I don't know. But it was just everything I could.
Do you know how to say stop in Spanish?
I did. No.
It's para. Para, hermano, para.
I don't know that they could have heard us anyways because there was some, really loud music. But I make it off the ride, and I am sweating. I've got the cold sweats. I'm like just, stumbling off of this thing. And at this point, I'm like, also on the ride too, I'm getting angry at myself because, dude, this thing, it's spinning. Not only am I angry at myself because I just shouldn't have got on it, but this thing, I'm like, this is a fucking death trap because it was just some piece of shit that rolled into town, and I was dumb enough to get on it. So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, if I go flying, it was my fault, and I can only be mad at me, whether I die or not. It's on me. I'm an idiot that got into a tiny box and was trying not to throw up and shit. So it was horrible. I threw up after I got off.
That was a question I was just about to ask. Like, you made it off, right?
Yeah.
That would be 2 for 2.
Yeah, no, we sat down. There was a nearby, tarp-covered thing where you can go sit underneath. We sat down. My girlfriend tried to talk me into walking around, and I looked at her like she was crazy. I was like, this is a horrible idea. So after about 30 minutes of sitting down, I walked to the car. We both left, and it was like, I threw up in the car. My Subway bag, I just threw up in myself. I threw up my dinner. So it was thoroughly unpleasant. I'll never be going back to the fair, but at least I didn't shit myself.
Like Ferris.
That would have been real rough because if you can manage to puke in a way that doesn't leave you in pretty bad shape, but if you're dealing with the other end, that's a whole different ball of wax.
And dude, you gotta stay away from Ferris because they tend to be scatological. In your case,
I mean, oh, dude, it would have made perfect sense. And really, I mean, I've been with my girlfriend for 7 years, so she we'd have made it through. It wouldn't have killed us, but I mean, and I don't know. I mean, it just would have been a mess. It just would have been horrible. It was already a horrible experience, but there's like only one way to make it worse, and that's you can't move at all, and they couldn't hear us. So and it was by pretty much the start from Jump Street. I'm trying not to go up, and that thing went on too long. I'm in there. I'm like, they're letting this thing go longer than it's supposed to. And I'm just like, it was horrible. I'm sorry. But it was a horrible experience. So that was my Thursday. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, we did. Thoroughly.
He says, dude, it's not cock and balls. That would be just tacky. It's a picture of a cake. OnlyFans cock and balls. I see, I think. Anyway, wonderful. Thanks for coming by, Two Scoops. This is the first time we've seen you. So, Neostar. All right, we're getting out of here, boys. I know I've kept you too long in my story here. He says, oh, man, I'm glad Pedro said something. I completely forgot the Spanish word for stop. What is it?
Para.
Is there an R there? Are you throwing an R?
Para. With an R. Para.
I don't like it. I'll be honest, buddy. I don't like it. It's not very
supposed to like
it. As long as you don't say it with throw up in your mouth, you're probably good.
I mean,
I don't like your word for stop, man.
Yeah, I don't like the word bucket.
Get that changed.
About it. Yeah. I hate the word bucket.
So, Pops, are you ready to send us back? And boys, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Nick and Rex, thanks again for coming back, man. We had a blast.
Totally.
I'm gonna play
love being on here.
I'm gonna play some stuff on the way out. Thanks everybody for watching. No matter where you're watching, whether it's Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter, we appreciate you giving us your minutes. Y'all have a good night.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Entertainment Group presents the Madness Comic Network with original programming and additional comic-related content.
Oh man, I wish I could find a way to better advertise Apothic Press.
Just back it already.
Whoa, Crom, what are you doing here? What's this? The Madness Roku Network. Sponsorship. 1 month of playing your 30-second ad on the network 3 times a day? Oh my gosh, for $20? And you can't beat that.
Just back it already.
All right, Crom. I'm doing it. Awesome. Hi, I'm Tanner Hurley, founder of Apothic Press. I back the Madness Roku Network, and so should you.
I told that moron not to take out my Tchaikovsky tape. No matter, let's get started. Here we are, Nancy Moon. The last time we left our heroine, she had just joined my esteemed colleagues at level M. We had the soldier who cannot stop talking, a magician with money issues, and a vampire with a checkered past. With her other teammates she has yet to meet. One in particular might be a little bit shocking for her. I do hope she's not allergic. Back it today, won't you? Like right meow.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.